What's up guys? Douglas from Dougsterbob.com here, and today we're going to be talking about the 2021 Colony Emerge BMX bike. This bike looks tacky. Usually, when I'm scoring these bikes, usually they all score at least a 7 to 10, right? Just based on the style, and that's just pure aesthetic. Like, how does it look? Does it look cool? Does it look bad? And this one looks pretty tacky. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the tires with all the big bulky logos. I just don't like how it looks. You're gonna have to decide for yourself how you like it. But let's just go in depth on this bike, see how good it is for street, park, dirt, what are some potential issues with it, is it the right bike for you, who's it made for, and all that good stuff. So let's get right into the video. So a couple things you need to know about this bike is it comes in a 20.7 inch top tube. It costs $625 and it comes in a black and gray colorway and a purple storm colorway. I already said that it looks really tacky, so let's just go in depth and talk about the quality. For a $625 bike, you would expect something really high quality, right? Wrong. Well, it's not super bad quality, but it's not great. So it's got a full chromoly frame. That's a win. But it has high tensile steel forks, but full chromoly bars. The rims are only single wall. This is terrible. It comes with 3 hub guards, but no pegs. And it weighs 25.3 pounds. It's a pretty light bike. Now, one of the biggest problems that I have with this is the single wall rims. Most of the time, you're gonna want double wall rims on your bike because as you start to spin or do big drops, those rims are taking a lot of impact. If you can only afford one to be double wall, go with the back rim. This bike having 2 single wall rims for that $625 price point puts it in the same basket as the Sunday X. It's an okay bike, but you can do better. You can find something with a little bit better quality and for about the same price or even a little bit less. We'll talk about that in a minute. But the quality on this is okay, but it's really not great. Now the geometry is something that's a little odd. It comes in a 20.7 inch top tube. It's going to be 0.05 of an inch smaller than a 20.75, obviously, but most complete bikes don't come in this size. It's kind of an oddball size. It comes with a 13-inch chainstay. This is about average. It's going to be easy to control manuals, easy to get into them, and spins are going to be just right in the middle. They're not going to be super hard, but they're also not going to be super easy like they would be on a 12.75-inch chainstay. Average chainstay. What's not average is the head tube angle. So the head tube angle is going to be a 75.5 degree inch head tube angle. Most head tube angles are 75 degrees. So that extra 0.2 degrees is going to make it technically steeper. Are you going to notice it? Probably not. You're really not going to notice the difference there. It's a little bit steeper, but not enough to really feel it. So it's just weird. It's just weird. And the standover height is shorter than normal. It's an 8.65 inch standover. Most bikes are about 9 inches, so having a smaller standover is going to make tail whips a teeny tiny bit easier. Bar spins are going to be a little harder since the seat's lower and harder to pinch, but this isn't a game changer. Like, those are really the only 2 things that it affects. Let's discuss how it scored in the Dougsterbob scores. Now, this is a scoring system that I created to help you see how good each bike is in park, in street, in dirt. What's the quality like? What's the value like? And so in this score sheet, it has the Colony Emerge BMX bike, and it also has 80 other bikes. So you can look at those bikes and see how they rank in street, park, dirt, and just compare them all. This is super helpful. So if you want to do that, if you want that sheet to compare literally any bike, click the link in the description for the score sheet, put in your email address, and it gets emailed out to you. Super simple. But anyway, let's talk about the scores for the Emerge. In the street section, it scored a 4. It doesn't come with a free coaster, but it does come with those hub guards. So that's going to help you save a little bit of money. Now all you need to do is purchase the pegs and you've got a street ready bike. With the hub guards, that's saving you about 60 bucks, 50 to 60 bucks, depending on the hub guards you get. Keep in mind, it doesn't come with a drive side hub guard. So if you're going to grind on the drive side, you need a hub guard that's universal. In the park section, it also scored a 4. This bike has that little bit of responsive head tube angle and the little bit of a short chainstay, the lower standover, making it a little more specific for park. Not perfect for park, otherwise it would have scored a lot higher, but a little bit more on the responsive end. You can put a gyro on this bike, if you bought one separately, it has the holes drilled. On like a Cult Devotion, you're not able to put a gyro on it. The Colony Emerge, you can put a gyro on it. So you can upgrade it to be more park specific, but as it comes out of the box, it's decent for park, but not perfect. In dirt, it only scored a 3. This is because it is a little closer to that responsive side that we talked about. On dirt, you want a really mellow feeling bike because you're going really fast and you're going really high. You don't want to be going 100 miles an hour on a really responsive bike because you're going to die. So you want that mellowness on a dirt specific bike. This bike, like I said, closer to the responsive side, so it's going to score a little bit lower in dirt. You can always make upgrades to make this better for dirt, but it doesn't come dirt specific at all. In the quality section, it only scored a 4. The full chromoly frame is great, but the single wall rims, high tensile steel forks, not helping out its case. It scored kind of low because of that. You can always upgrade these parts, but thinking about upgrading to a double wall rim set and some new forks is going to cost you around probably $400, which would mean altogether you've spent $1,000 on this bike, and that's a lot of money. Some similar options to this bike would be the Sunday X. You can get the free coaster version of the Sunday X for $620. It's still going to be single wall rims. You can also get the Kink Cloud for about $650. It's going to come with 4 pegs, no hub guards, but full chromoly. It's a really solid bike for a little bit more money. Or the We the People Reason. I think this is sold out everywhere, but this is a really good street specific bike. The sprocket has a bash guard, it's full chromoly, but not full double wall rims. But check out those 3 bikes if you're considering this one, and maybe one of those bikes are going to be better for you. Some of the potential issues that I see with this bike is the single wall rims. A lot of people buy a $600 plus bike and assume it's amazing because the price is really high. Sadly, this is not the case with this bike. You can spend $625 on it, but the quality still isn't amazing. And you're going to face a handful of issues with the wheels bending or coming untrue, your forks bending in as you learn disasters or nose case dirt jumps, and you really need to be prepared for that. I'm not saying don't buy this bike, but I'm saying if you do go with it, just understand that these parts might break and you might have to upgrade it. When we talk about who this bike is for, I like to paint a perfect picture. This bike, you know, every bike does have the right rider. So if a 20.7 inch top tube is perfect for you, that gets you going in the right path. But you also want to be pretty well-rounded with a lower budget. You want to ride a little bit of park, a little bit of street, a little bit of dirt. You're still testing it out because with this bike, you can ride a little bit of everything and see what feels right to you, see what you enjoy, and then upgrade the bike in that direction. This rider has, like I said, about $625 to buy a bike. You're riding right at where a beginner rider starts to ride like a mid-level. This bike to me technically is on the higher end of beginner, not quite a mid-level bike, so it can withstand a more advanced beginner riding this bike. I know that doesn't make any sense, but it's not quite for a mid-level rider, so your skill level should match that as like an experienced beginner. God, that's so hard to explain. But anyway, that's who it's for. The big question is whether or not I would recommend this bike, and usually I say yes, but I think for this one, I'm gonna have to say no. Now, if you already have this bike, like don't write a comment and say, oh my God, you just broke my heart. Dude, just ride the bike, okay? You already have it. It's not a terrible bike. I just think for that price point, I don't know. The Sunday X is slightly better because of the aftermarket parts that it comes with. If you could spend a little more and get the Kink Cloud, that is going to be the best bang for your buck option, or even the We the People Reason. This bike, I just don't particularly like the lower quality aftermarket parts, the high tensile steel forks, the single wall rims. I think you can find something a little bit better. And yeah, that's how I feel about it. So not really. I wouldn't really recommend it. Now, if you're dead set on this bike and you're still going to buy it, you really want to buy it, click the link in the description, because wherever that link sends you is going to be where it's the most affordable. It's probably going to be Dan's Comp because I have a really good relationship with them, but sometimes it's not. Sometimes shops charge you way too much for these bikes because 2021 is like bikes are popping, and I don't want you guys to get ripped off. So check it out through there. If you guys do find it cheaper somewhere else, let me know in the comments so I can help out your fellow BMX riders. If you watched this whole review and you were disappointed because you're like, wow, I really wanted this bike, what should I get now? Fill out the free bike recommendation that I do. So that's going to be here and also in the description. Click it, put in your budget, your skill level, your height, what kind of riding you like to do. I'll look over all that information and I'll make you a PDF with 3 bikes that I think are perfect for you. Send it back to you. It takes me about a day, so be patient. I just like to make sure that everything's right on there and going to work out for you. So be patient, get that done, because that's going to save, like, it's already saved thousands of people so much time. Because instead of searching the internet for the right bike, all you have to do now, put in your information and get that sent to you, and then boom, there's 3 options for you. So do that. Have a great rest of your day. Thank you so much for being part of the community, and I can't wait for you to get your perfect BMX bike. Peace. Yo, so you're still watching the video. I wanted to ask you a question. Has this channel helped you out? Have you gotten any value from me? If the answer is yes, I want you to consider taking your support to the next level. You could get a Dougsterbob hat, a Dougsterbob shirt, or even hit that donation link in the description. You have no idea how much it helps me. With those donations and that support, I'm able to create higher quality content that helps grow the sport of BMX. We all love BMX. We know why that's important. Thank you so much for being an awesome subscriber and a part of the Dougsterbob community.